Hi guys, welcome to the Fight Tonight channel. The current champion has his pick of opponents. The DAZN boxing show discussed if George Kambos should fight Vasyl Lomachenko in his next fight. The Australian pulled off a surprise and over Teofilo Lopez last year in order to secure the WBA, WBO and IBF belt, set lightweight, as well as the WBC franchise belt. That set up a logical fight with Devin Haney, the WBC's other champion, to settle the matter of whether Kambosos is really the undisputed champ. And Matchroom promoter Eddie Hearn had talked up the chances of the rematch up being made this year. However, nothing has been confirmed, and that has led to speculation about two other fights that could be made against either the former four-belt champion Lomachenko or the returning and unbeaten Ryan Garcia. Speaking on the DAZN boxing show, Akin Reyes admitted that going straight into a title defense against such an experienced fighter like Lomachenko, who recently dismantled Richard Comey, is brave of Kambosos. Credit to Kambosos if he's willing to fight Lomachenko. Credit to Kambosos if he's willing to fight Lomachenko. That's Loma, who came from the Comey fight, the first time defending those fights. Obviously, Kambosos wants to ride that wave. Obviously, I'm not saying he's a one-hit wonder. If I'm his manager, I'm against that. Barack Best suggested that if the Garcia fight could not be made, then the current champion should not be made to wait to get back in the ring, asking, if Ryan's not ready, why not fight the old fight? Chris Mannix agreed, pointing out that with the unpredictability of boxing, particularly at lightweight in recent years, moving strength to a high profile, defense might be the pragmatic option regardless of the high risk. However, he acknowledged that a placeholder fight could suit his ambitions too. Kambosos has to be financially smart, he said. This is maybe his one opportunity to cash that lottery ticket. If you have to take a victory lap fight before the next big fight, sometimes you're gonna do it. Sometimes the financiers get in the way of making these fights happen. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 100 subscribers on my channel. I am trying very hard absolutely every day and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Looking to put 2021 behind him, Ryan Garcia is ready for a productive and positive 2022. The 23-year-old is looking to return to action in April 2nd. The first time he has entered the ring since last January. Ryan Garcia revealed details regarding his boxing return. While he didn't name an opponent, he knows when he wants to fight. My career resumes April 2nd, Garcia stated via Boxing Sense. It should be in either Los Angeles or Las Vegas, most likely Vegas, so I look forward to the announcement of the fight. Looking to prove a point, Garcia, who has over 8.7 million followers on Instagram, recently posted a training video showcasing his hand speed and power. Garcia made his profi debut in 2016. He was immediately praised as a star and has been given time to progress, while with Oscar de la Hoya. In November 2019 and February 2020, Garcia beat Romero Duno and Francisco Fonseca, following two brutal knockouts, to win and hold on to the WBC silver lightweight title. He paced his first major test in January 2021, when he beat Luke Campbell via TKO to win the interim WBC lightweight title. In April of that year, he was supposed to fight against Javier Fortuna. Garcia would take a break from boxing to focus on his mental health. This past November, Garcia was going to fight Joseph Diaz for the interim title that he lost as a result of inactivity. A head injury required Garcia to get surgery, delaying his progress in the division. The time off and being in the public eye got to Garcia. He's looking to move forward with his career, starting with a return to the ring. I was struggling deep within myself, with mental health issues, Garcia went on to say, "Anyone that knows boxing knows that if you are not 100% mentally, you are not going to be there 100% physically. You could die in the ring, so I took that pretty serious, and I decided obviously to take that break. I feel great coming back. Like I said, it wasn't really a comeback for me. I'm resuming where I left off. I feel great. I'm going to come back just as strong, powerful, and when those knockouts come, I guarantee you that everyone is going to shut up, and it's going to be like nothing happened," Garcia said. Ryan Garcia later revealed to Boxing News that he ended up breaking it down in front of Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso before the Fortuna fight. He mentioned how therapy helped him and that he felt better compared to where he was before. Garcia is part of a new class of fighters around lightweight that includes Devin Haney, Teofilo Lopez, George Kambos, and Gervonta. Training with Canelo and Reynoso, Garcia is eager to return to the ring. It could be against Fortuna or Isaac Cruz, who Davis recently beat. De La Hoya is expected to make an announcement soon regarding Garcia's next opponent. George Kambos Jr. gave unbeaten lightweight contender Ryan Garcia the brush off on Saturday, telling him to get in line behind WBC 135-pound belt holder Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. Those are the two that the 4-belt champion Kambosos Jr. is considering for his next fight in June in Australia. Losing to Ryan Garcia would make Kambosos Jr. look really bad in the eyes of fans, particularly with his Asia followers. A defeat at the hands of the young contender King Rai would be devastating to Kambosos' career and would likely finish him for good. In contrast, Kambosos being dethroned by Lomachenko or Haney isn't nearly as bad a look for him. How would Kambosos ever come back from a loss to Ryan? There is a genuine possibility that Kambosos Jr. would lose to Ryan by a knockout because he gets too much and he doesn't possess the greatest chin. Kambosos, 28, and Ryan have been trading trash talk this week, leading many boxing fans to believe that the two will be fighting next or at least very soon. However, Kambosos Jr. made it clear on Twitter this weekend that he has no intention of fighting the unbeaten 23-year-old Ryan Garcia. Kambosos says he wants to fight the best challenger for his next. Haney, safer choice for Kambosos Jr. If George is serious about wanting to fight the best, then he needs to stretch Haney off his list because he's not the best out there. Lomachenko, Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Isaac Cruz are better fighters than Haney and far more entertaining. Haney is the safe choice for Kambosos if he wants to avoid a loss. And that's the likely guy he will choose for his next fight. Sean Jones has predicted that Kambosos Jr. will choose Haney, but it is evident from the start that he would face him rather than Lomachenko or Gervonta Davis in his first and likely last defense of his 4 lightweight titles. You're the kind soldier that would be shivering in their boots, hiding away in a cave until the wars finish it. Listen, like I said, buddy, I like you. You're a good kid, but take a ticket and get in the line. I got real business to handle first, said Kambosos Jr. on Twitter. I want the best challenger to give the world the best fights possible, Kambos continued. Haney, Matchroom Boxing, Loma, Top Rank Boxing. It takes 2 to tango. So let's get this done. The stadium in Australia avoids. And still, Kambosos probably doesn't want to lose them beautiful belts in front of his Australian fans in a large stadium fight next June. If the goals for Kambosos are not to get beaten up and dethroned in his next fight, he needs to put Lomachenko at the back of the line because he will wreck the party for Kambosos for sure. Despite the possibility that Kambosos might end up making more money fighting Ryan than he will Haney or Loma, he still has no interest in this fight. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.